Well, good morning and welcome to our virtual audience across Canada for tuning in. My name is Judith Rigby. I'm the CEO Registrar for the College of Dental Technologists of Ontario. And with me today is Jocelyn. And Jocelyn is with the College of Massage Therapists in Newfoundland, currently the
Examination officer.
registration examination officer. You'll understand why I paused there for a minute because you've changed roles.
Yes.
So setting the stage for all of you, Jocelyn, you're from a small regulator with just over 500 registrants and an organization of two, a big number, full-time staff and 5 board members fulfilling the regulatory mandate. From 2005 to 2012, the college had an arrangement with a regulator in another province to use their exam for registration. And when a security breach occurred, you were no longer able to use that exam, and you had to react very quickly, since the provincial government was sort of breathing down your neck and saying thou must have a new exam in place within a year, almost, it seems like, by 2013. So let me ask you, it's certainly a crisis moment for a small regulator that needs strong leadership. Can you share some insights about how this crisis and the response from the whole organization evolved leadership and invoked leadership and decision making by the board?
Thank you, Judy. Yes, for us at that moment, it was our crisis situation, and it became our sink or swim moment. At that time, I was a new chair on the board, and we had just appointed a new registrar. And we had to make some very aggressive and ambitious plans so that we could move forward. At the time, leadership was extremely important because we had a board who had become very comfortable with not having to deal with any crisis. It was just regular day-to-day business. So we really had to force our board members to make decisions quickly, to ensure that they were answering to a timely manner to important emails. And we also had to make sure that non-essential work with the board had to be put aside. And all members had to focus on our exam development and not losing legislation by not being able to fulfill our regulatory responsibility of having a provincial exam. So it was a stressful year,
Yes,
but we came out much stronger on the end.
Well, that's really interesting. And so, as you said, you were the board chair at the time, and with the registrar, you certainly adhered to Roberta Bondar's mantra of never surrender. So, having only 5 board members, though, I'm curious about this, is because I know previously when we chatted, you sort of had to rearrange the board almost if they weren't on board. So, how did you deal with potentially not having quorum to make important decisions?
We really had to focus everyone at the matter at hand. And we did unfortunately have to remove some of our board members who just weren't comfortable with making high risk decisions. And we couldn't allow anyone's indecisiveness or unwillingness to make decisions stop us or hold us back. It was essential we stayed on time and our timelines were met. And of course, we were able to find support. We partnered with another massage therapy board in New Brunswick for exam development and exam process. And that has been a wonderful partnership for both of us. They were a new board starting in the massage therapy world. They were able to help us with being cost efficient with exam development and exam running. Plus, they brought in more resources of the people that they had with experience in the massage therapy world. So having a partnership with New Brunswick's Massage Therapy College was one of the big assets that we had at the time as well. And they're still great partners of ours.
That's really wonderful to hear. And I think you actually segued right into my next question, which obviously you can also read my mind. So, that's really interesting. And what I'd like to share with you or tell you is that I completely, and I'm sure many of us would concur, is that strength in system partnership and collaboration, because as small regulators, we are small in number, and there is always strength in numbers. I'd just like to share with you, Jocelyn, and the audience, is that we too, as very small provincial dental technology regulators, we banded in 2017. We have a national alliance, and I think that you will be able to share some light on your national body. And since 2017, we've tapped into the federal government funding for internationally educated, and we've been able to develop collaboratively national essential competencies, an exam, and now we're working on prior learning assessment recognition. So that's something that you are considering and may want to consider also in the future, is creating that synergy so that the small regulators can now focus on their regulatory functions post entry to practice. What are your thoughts on tapping into that kind of funding? We received almost $1.4 million to do that.
We're still at the stage where we're waiting for more provinces to become regulated, so we have more of a national effort. Our college is always going to be very supportive of the national effort. We do have an accreditation group that is working towards national accreditation for massage therapy programs, and all of our regulated professions right now are working with this group and trying to support the national effort. I mean, the College of Massage Therapists in Newfoundland and Labrador would have been able to use a resource like a national exam in our crisis moment, and been able to focus our funding and our resources in so many other areas to improve without having to worry about the difficulties and the struggles of not only developing but continuously upholding the standards, for a regulatory exam and all of the expenses and stresses and legal issues that come with that. So we are very hopeful that in the next few years there will be more of a national effort in massage therapy going forward.
Which, that's interesting, because I do know also Nova Scotia, there's a movement by the ministry to amalgamate some of the small colleges in order to provide the public protection real focus and resources. So how has CMTNL throughout this experience been even more resourceful to be able to respond? Do you feel now, having gone through this, as a board, to respond to crisis and continue to fulfill regulatory functions?
Yes, the lessons we learned along the way have been great. We really learned that training is essential, not only for the exam part of it, but for our board members. Having the right training about how to make those important decisions, about what needs to be considered, what is risk management, all that training is essential to a small board, to make the board feel comfortable and make it effective and efficient when making those tough decisions. Also, we were very lucky at our time that our biggest resource was our professional members. We have some very dedicated massage therapists in Newfoundland and Labrador that we're extremely grateful to, because it was their understanding of the importance of fulfilling our mandate at that time that we ended up getting all that hard work done with a very small number of people.
That's wonderful. So, as we wrap up, Jocelyn, I'd just like to hear from you, although you've told us a lot and it's extremely interesting. I know I've found attending CNAR been very resourceful, and the connections that have been made, and I'm still waiting for the CNAR Small Regulators event. Any final thoughts from you?
Yes, we, as a small regulator, this is number 8, I think, a CNAR conference I've attended. I never walk away feeling like I haven't learned something or met someone new. The networking opportunities are fabulous. And like yourself, I really do hope that we'll see more at CNAR when it comes to small regulators, because there's strength in our numbers. And we have some really experienced, knowledgeable people that I feel like networking amongst ourselves will be a win-win for all of us.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Jocelyn, for the chat, and to all our virtual attendees for waking up this morning early to listen to this and tap into this. And I hope you enjoy your coffee and your day. And Jocelyn, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.